Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on January the 28th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up here on Thursday, we have GDP numbers from the US. Now, if the numbers come in below expectations, that would be bad for the stock markets, and we may actually see the US dollar go up as a result of that. We also have unemployment claims coming up and trade balance numbers here. So with the US dollars, we did see a positive response in the US dollar, it being a safe haven currency. And a lot of that had to do with the stock market dropping today. So it looks like there was a short squeeze, which means some people were caught up, hedge funds were caught in the short positions, and they had to cover the positions because of the leveraged accounts. And because of that, we did see the stock market drop. And also the sentiment is starting to maybe pull back a little bit. There has been a lot of positive sentiment in the stock market. And now that we are hearing that there will be some delays with the vaccines and so forth, so there is a bit of a pullback in that. And as a result, we did see stock market drop, which means the safe haven currencies did well, like Japanese yen and US dollar. So actually, let's go on to the charts here and take a look. We'll start off with euro dollar here. So yesterday we were looking for this one to drop. We see that price is still trading in this range, and it did come and retest the bottom here. Now I will look for a retest again, but we have to be careful here. This is an important support resistance level. Last time price was here, even though the candle was really strong going into the support, it couldn't take it out. So if it gets stuck here, we could still see a move back higher. So watch out for that. So right now, bias is neutral to bearish. Once we see the price go through it, next target would be 1.20. And then we could see a move all the way into 1.1925. So for now, bias is bearish. First target is 1.2050. Only if it can go through that will we target the next ones. So neutral to bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar, this one as well, as we talked about yesterday, price couldn't get through the resistance now. And now we're looking for a retest of the support here of the bottom of the range. Target here is 1.3620. Now, concern again would be this is where price has not been able to go through. So we do need to see a bit of a momentum going into this before we can really turn completely bearish on this. But right now, price seems to be squeezing a little bit. So it's not as strong as it was. So we could see a drop here and a further move lower, but it hasn't it's not completely there yet. So we have to see the break of this support for it to really turn negative. So right now, neutral to bearish bias. First target is 1.3620. And only if it goes through that, then we'll be targeting lower here into 1.3530. So neutral to bearish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar, this one had been tracking lower. We had talked about this downtrend line here. So as we can see, price did close below that support level. This is finally, so we have a descending triangle here. So it's finally through that. So next target here is 0.7550. So bias here is bearish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, this one as well couldn't go through the resistance. This is where it has struggled previously, and this was the top of the range. So now looking for a move lower. We have a nice bearish candle close here. So target here is 0.7092. And this is where we have to be careful. If it doesn't go through, again, we could see a push higher from there. So first target is 0.7090, and then if it goes through, then we will target this 0.70 level. So for now, bearish bias here, neutral to bearish, and for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one has finally gone through. It did a back test here. Next target for this will be 1.2840, and then above that we're looking at 1.2870. So bullish bias for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our commodities here, starting off with silver. We did see that drop here. So still looking bearish. Next target, or the first target in this case for today, will be 24.65 and then 24.00. So bearish bias for silver. Gold here, still looking for a move lower here. It doesn't seem to have the momentum that it did here, for example, or here, but it's slowly making its way down. So bearish bias 1831 is still the first target here. This is an important support level. So if price doesn't make it through, we can still get a range bound move again. So watch out for that. This is something to be cautious about. So bias is bearish though. Once we see a drop here, then we're targeting 1803. But until then, 1831 is the first target. 1803 will be the second target. Just be cautious at 1831. Oil here, looking neutral here. We may see a drop. If we see there are concerns, further concerns, then we may see a further drop here towards 51.35. So neutral bias right now. This is trading in a range. So looking for a move within this range here. So target is 51.35. Copper here, we did see a drop in copper. Next target is 3.46. And below that, we are looking at 3.43. So bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin bounced off of this support level. And at this point, I will look for a move higher. First target here is 31,700 and then 32,800. So neutral bias here. It's trading in this range. So I'm looking for it to basically go towards the top of this range here. We just have to be careful about this, the bottom of this pin, because sometimes price will turn from there. And that is something, this is the move we have to be cautious about, because if it fails here, basically we're looking for another leg lower, because overall this is still looking bearish here, right? So keep that in mind. Neutral bias though, looking for a move between 32,800 and then 31,135. All right, stock market here, big drop today, a lot of volatility in the market. So in this case, I would look for a bit of a pullback here. And then if it holds, looking for another leg lower here towards 3,700. So bias is bearish. Just be mindful of this pullback, because when we have these sudden moves, many times we can get pullbacks here before a continuation. So bearish bias here for S&P 500, 3,700 is the first target and 3,650 is the second target. Nasdaq here also looking bearish, looking for a bit of a pullback before a continuation lower, towards looking for pullback into 13,200, and then target here is 12,770. So 12,720, my apologies, bearish bias for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones, again, big drop here. It is looking bearish. It has finally broken through the support level here of the range it was trading in. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback, potentially towards 30,600, and then a further drop back into 29,850. So this is bearish as well. And this as well, we see a reversal here. So looking for a further drop. Watch out for a pullback, potentially into 13,650 here for DAX, and then a further drop. So bearish bias here. So with this type of a movement, just keep an eye out for additional volatility tomorrow, so we can see a move back and forth. That's the only thing to bear in mind here. But 13,400 and then 13,300 will be the next two targets. FTSE also a big drop here. We are finally into this next level here. This is the support level, so that's something to, again, watch out for a bounce off of that level. So looking for a pullback either into the 65.50 or slightly higher here. So 6,600. So bearish, bias is bearish here. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.